I'll show you guys what we're doing today. I've never done this before, by the way. Like, this is all new to me. It's called Frantic FanFic. And the way it works, I think, is it's similar to Gardic Phone, where everyone participating will write we'll start off a sentence or a paragraph or whatever based on a prompt they're given, and then it gets passed around to someone else. So there's gonna be like 20 stories going on at once, probably. I don't know.
All right.
You know what? There's always a burger in every game we play. There's always
is.
some sort of burger, which is great.
Look at us.
Would you look at us, bro?
Wow.
Oh, who's Fuxy?
Oh, that's probably like somebody really cool.
So I started us off with I started us off on standard, so it's just gonna be the basic way the game goes. And I only gave us the fluff prompt category, the general prompt category, and the drama. I think I gave us fantasy as well. I didn't start us off with everything at once. So the way that it's gonna play is our first round, we put in 5 characters
Caroline, yep.
just off the top of our heads. That round has a 20-minute timer
it's an actor
until
that
everyone's
talks.
ready.
Okay.
So you can brainstorm with chat about what characters. It does not have to be an actual character like Indiana Jones. Your chat could be like, my neighbor Paul, and you could put my neighbor Paul in there, and then we just have to write a fanfic about my neighbor Paul and like Lady Gaga. And then once the first round's over, you get 5 random characters from everyone else's pool. You pick your 2 that you're gonna write a fanfiction about. You get your prompt, and then you start writing. We have 5 minutes to write. You write until you think you're done, or until the timer's up. And then when the 5 minutes are up, those paragraphs go to someone else. They get a new prompt to add in to that, and then we go again, and we go again until it's done. And then at the end, you get your fan fiction back, and then we can read them all. So I'm gonna hit start, and then you guys can tell your chats the code. And
Okay, cool. Yeah. All right.
so it'll show you it'll show you the quick start guide real quick.
All right, write 5 characters. Characters are shuffled. Pick 2. Is it kind of hard to read, guys? I'll try to zoom in on that real quick for you. Hold on.
I'm nervous.
No, me. What are you writing?
Wait, are we supposed to be writing already?
No, I think we're waiting for people.
We're just
to
writing
accept
characters.
We are writing characters?
Not yet.
Not yet. There's still people reading the quick start guide.
Oh, sorry. Got it.
Is it me?
It's Lexi, Leggies, Jason, and Ashley still reading it.
Okay.
No offense, obviously.
No offense.
Told you guys that reading was hard for me.
Can I just? I got nervous, so I just skipped through.
I did that too.
Quick start. I basically explained how it works.
Yeah.
We're just gonna pick characters and then we start writing. It also every time it switches to a new screen, it gives you it explains it way better than Gartic does.
Cool.
Cool.
All right,
I also realized
Jason.
that my mute and deafen buttons are forward and back on my browser. It doesn't mess with any games, but my browser will be bad.
Right, 5 potential fanfic characters. All right, guys, start saying stuff.
Nice.
Start saying stuff. No, I'm not putting Gary in here. Okay. Galactus. Ash Ketchum's mom. No. Jimmy Neutron's mom. SpongeBob. SquarePants. Ooh, Karlak. Larry the Cucumber. Jake from State Farm. The Simpsons car. Zelda.
Also, my guest star is all frozen for some reason. I don't know what's going on over here. It's all laggy.
Jared, 19. Never learned how to fucking read.
Bat in your little eyes at it.
Wait, I like Jared, 19.
What?
That's funny as hell.
Bat your little eyes.
Jared, 19. That's good. All right, there they are. Waiting on a few players. No, you don't join. There's no code to
you're
join.
lies at it.
Oh wait, there.
That
Wait.
you're laughing
Oh,
at.
is
I
there?
don't buy anyone. What do you think I am?
I was just quaking.
I don't know if that is that is that.
Knows.
That's a timer, I think, or is that audience? I don't know how it works. Mayor, do you have a link or the code? I don't know. I don't know how that works.
That is the
No.
exact dynamic.
I could see that.
I don't want to share it if it's like you guys are gonna join. You know what I mean? Wait, how do we share this with the audience?
It's just you give them a code. They go to franticfanfic.com and then they click join game as audience.
Oh, do I
Put
give
in
them the
code?
and I give them the code that you had?
Yep.
All right, here's the code, guys.
Like you're feeding your dogs.
Here you go.
There you go.
All right, have fun with it.
Yeah.
What's happening right now?
There you go.
All right.
Take this. Don't talk to me for the rest of the night. Thanks.
All right, bye, chat.
Oh
Damn,
shit!
that's
Undercut.
I mean, I'm not gonna charge my own laptop. Who do you think's gonna pay it?
Oh.
All right, what's next?
Oh.
Who knows?
Oh, do you choose?
I don't
No,
see anything.
I see
It's still-
nothing.
for me, it still says leggies.
Yeah, Leggies is.
I
done.
just submitted my characters.
Yeah, Leggies isn't there anymore. I'm just sitting at the top.
Yeah, it
see
You guys
says.
have
Leggies.
submit characters at the bottom right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see it.
Oh,
And then it
I
says-
hit submit characters again, and then Leggies is waiting.
Yeah,
Leggies
Leggies
is
is
there
still
again.
looming.
I
Ladies,
gave
do you
it.
see a submit characters button again?
I
Yeah.
hit it again. I hit it again.
When you're
Oh, here we are. Here we are.
There we
Yay.
go.
Okay.
It just
Oh
had
my
to
God,
think,
Rob.
okay?
Rob, someone else put him.
Bye.
Bye.
Should we do Cher and Larry the Cucumber? All right. Cher and Larry.
I just had
She-
to select
oh,
Cher.
and we can call them Sherry.
I think so.
That's their ship name, guys.
So we just pick those and then we wait for everybody to also pick theirs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah, guys, no rush.
I'm scared on that.
I swear to God. I'm just trying, my guy.
Leggies, it's not even just you.
Okay.
Nah, it's 8 people. You're good.
I'm legit trying.
That's not true. It's 7 people. It's
You're
not
right.
me.
Sorry.
For me, it says everyone else is not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone else
for me,
but
it
me.
says everyone.
I'm clicking in the bottom corner where there's no.
Yeah, there we are.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
All
so
right.
your prompt is up at the top. You have 5 minutes.
Okay.
Is it just, it's just,
Actually, you have
Oh my
3 and a
God,
half
it's
minutes.
split in half.
Wait,
What
so
do
we
you
just
mean?
write whatever we want?
Write whatever you want.
Oh my
With those
God.
characters
What's
and the
prompt?
prompt.
What does
Just-
that mean?
Okay, I got
Wait,
it.
what?
I got it. I
I
gotta
don't,
go.
I
Alright,
don't know
bye.
what the prompt means.
Just go.
It's just one word.
All right, chat, I'm full muting here. Okay, here we go. The prompt is Frozen, so probably the movie, right? It was a cold winter's night. It was a cold winter's night. Why is my font this? Whatever. It was a cold winter's night. It was a cold winter's night without much sound, except for the glorious. It was a cold winter's night, and not a creature was stirring. Off in the distance, the hum of a familiar tune could be heard. If I could turn back time, was echoing across the snowy mountaintops. Okay, hold on. Across the snowy mountaintops. We were in a bit of a pickle here because, wait on. Larry was in a bit of a pickle here because he was frozen from his waist up in 10 inches of snow. What the hell is this advertisement? Oh, fuck off! Fuck off! He was also a cucumber. He screamed out in a panic for help. I'm stuck in this snow. But no one heard him, not even a mouse. He kept hearing... Oh, shit. He kept hearing the song from the mountain and started to sing along. Maybe this would work. Who knows? I'm done. That's not bad. That's not a bad setup.
How y'all doing?
This is so stupid.
I am in love
Yeah,
with
I'm
mine.
not
It's
ready
so
yet.
good.
I wish
could
I had more
cry.
time, I'll be honest. I was
Really
cooking.
go for it.
I was cooking.
I
Okay.
think. Okay, we have a much bigger timer.
Oh
this
my
time.
god, what the hell is this shit? Okay, bye. Okay. It was 2023. Edward Cullen and Pikachu were the best there ever was. Once they dropped Bella off at the Leaf Gym because she kind of sucked at Pokemon battles. Through their friendship, Edward started to believe that Pikachu was actually a vampire. He wasn't 100% sure since Pikachu is the second living creature ever whose mind he cannot read. Bella became very jealous of this fact. Edward Cullen decided to confront Pikachu about this. Pikachu, you gotta tell me the truth. Are you a vampire or not? Be honest. And like, if you are, why are your eyes red? Are you not a vegan vampire like us? This is where pie. We gotta continue with propane accessories. This is where pie, 3.14. Edward's favorite math equation since he's been in high school for 400 years. It's totally not weird though. Edward and Pikachu went... Okay, hold on. Wait. So Bella's out of the picture. Since Bella is out of the picture, Edward needed to keep his mind alert and focused. So he, of course, brought Pikachu to the local hardware store with him so they could look at propane tanks. Pikachu got a little propane tanks. They started to browse the aisles, looking at numerous tools, bags of sand, glues, and tacks. It was a 45-year-old man's wet dream. Pikachu got a little excited and started sparking because he hadn't seen so many cool things in his life. Edward got nervous because the sparks almost touched a car battery that was on the shelf next to them. This was the first moment where Edward felt genuine fear for the safety of his little furry yellow friend. Yo, am I killing this? I think I am. Pikachu looked back at Edward with kind eyes and remembered a friend from years ago who treated him the same way. A singular tear fell from Pikachu's eye as he looked over at Edward. Okay. Edward said, "Hey, let's get out of here. I want to show you something." And they moved to a local. I want to show you something. Pikachu, without hesitation, said, "Pika, pee." And they walked to a grass field right next to the hardware store. Okay. Am I writing the whole thing? Like, am I supposed to should I shut the fuck up? Real quick, let me do one last thing. Edward turned to Pikachu as the sun rose and said, "This is the skin of a killer, Pikachu," and started to glow in a beautiful, fantastic way. Pikachu could not believe his glossy black eyes. He started to thunder shock and thunder wave everywhere. He was honestly intimidated. He started to thunder shock. No, that's too much. That's too much. Pikachu could not believe his glossy black eyes. He was genuinely shocked at how gorgeous. No, he was genuinely shocked at how sparkly this 1,000-year-old man was. Bang. All right, I'm having too much fun with this.
Yeah, I'm fucking dying.
I just wrote so many words, and I'm sorry.
I'm writing you guys novels.
Whoever gets mine, I apologize.
I'm so stoked, dude. I'm so excited for. Oh my god, mine's so good.
Tom Nook and Bald Harry Styles. Oh fuck.
Oh, here we go.
All right, bye.
Is that better?
There he stood, Bald Harry Styles, rubbing against his newly bald head. But alas, they did not slide smoothly, for there is an friction for which he was never prepared. There is only one man I trust to give me a product to cure my ailments. And off he stepped. In the distance, the bright lights of Nook's cranny lit up the horizon. Off Harry raced, knowing he had little time before the doors would lock and he would be closed out from his favorite shop. "Please, Tom, I need your finest lotion." Tom stared out the front windows, glancing towards the panicked screams outside. Seeing Bald Harry Styles sprinting towards the cranny, he races towards the door to allow his friend in. Tom fumbled with the lock and didn't know what he was about to open the door to. Once he was able to unlock it, Bald Harry Styles stumbled in out of breath. "Tom, I need you to help me find the best lotion you stock," said Bald Harry Styles. Tom was unsure where this request was going. He looked around and tried to spot the lotion aisle, not asking any questions. Although all he had were questions. Silently, Tom Nook led Bald Harry Styles to the lotion aisle. Bald Harry Styles took a deep breath and looked at the shelves, overwhelmed by the options that were laid out in front of him. "Tom, I don't know what lotion works best." Tom looked at Harry and tried to figure out the best way to ask the following question. "What do you need this lotion for?" I need it to escape. Replied Bald Harry Styles. That's our prompt, guys. Our prompt is escaping, okay? I need to lube my shiny bald head up so I can crawl out of this tiny, tight tunnel and get off this island for good. I am sick of all the animals who live here. They don't speak English. They just jabber and make strange sounds. And my roommate is a deer who eats bugs. I am tired of it. I need to escape, replied Bald Harry Styles. Tom reaches out his weird little hand and puts it on Bald Harry Styles' shoulder. Harry of the bald specimen. You realize I also once tried to escape. I cannot stand this island either. But I found you several months ago, walking, washed ashore on the beach behind Caroline's house. I couldn't take my eyes off of you. I hid behind a peach tree for almost an hour as I listened to you sing to yourself, and it was honestly the best song I ever heard. Guys, it's cute. Relax. Not the hype train. Bald Harry Styles couldn't believe it. This was a shock because he didn't even remember how he got to this island in the first place. He just showed up one day, bald as hell. He doesn't remember how he got to this island in the first place. Okay. I appreciate that, mate. Not many people have said I make music that's their favorite. Tom looks at him confused. Really? You seem like a superstar to me. Harry Harry laughs a little before saying, I was just playing. I was in a universally... Fuck, how do you spell that? I was in a mega boy band that was worldwide, and we sold millions upon millions of albums. But standing here with you is honestly the coolest I have ever felt in my life. Tom can't believe what he's hearing. This bald, beautiful man is actually happy to be in his company. People usually despise me. I'm a landlord. For Nook's sake. Wow. This is different. What should I say next? I'm a little nervous, to be honest. The sun starts to set and the moon pops out. Bang.
I wasn't not prepared.
I don't
No,
know.
I'm actually
excited about all of this.
I'm actually
There's more.
really good at this, I think.
Oh my God, there's more. There's
I'm
more.
loving
We have
this.
more.
There's
We have
more.
more.
already.
Oh, there's more. Bye.
It honestly might go through.
Dolly Parton and Andy Sandberg. Who's Andy Sandy? I'm not do I read everything, or maybe I read only the last about, right? I think I don't want to read the full thing because we're gonna hear them all later anyway. So I'm just gonna read like the last few. I feel like the less context might be funny almost. No, I know who Andy Sandberg is. Andy Sandy's a little different. Andy hung up. He grasped Dolly's silicone hand gloves and pulled her down the street. His long, oversized basketball shorts swaying in the New York City wind. As they turned a corner, Dolly saw a commotion up ahead. A large crowd was gathering in the street. And what could it be? It has to be. Dolly would recognize that little twink's sharp jawline anywhere. Andy had called Timothy Chalamet the newest Willy Wonka and was offering him courtside Lakers tickets for a little bit of his Wonka magic. Andy was going to get them both turned into geese for her, for his love for her, for Dolly. Everybody listen up and quiet down, the magical, mystical twink said to the crowd while waving his hands in a weird manner. Please welcome my friends Andy Sandy and his gorgeous, gorgeous wife, Dolly Parton. They're going to be testing out a new Wonka product for me to help promote the Wonka movie now that the strike is over. Let's go. Andy guided Dolly up onto the soapbox that Timmy Wonka was standing on, and as Timmy Wonka turned to them, he produced a box of candy from his gargantuan pockets. Andy and Dolly took it, slamming it back with no chaser, and Dolly was filled with love and light as she and Andy sprouted wings and flew. Timmy Wonka shed a tear watching them go. As the tear came out of his eye, Timmy Wonka fell into a vat of hot liquid chocolate and died immediately. Okay. And then, okay, as Andy and Dolly flew away, giggling to each other, unbeknownst to them that their magic candy friend life stopped. Andy and Dolly flew flew away giggling to each other. I'm noticing them that their magic candy friend's life stopped. Oh, fireballs and uppercuts. Okay. They flew so high that for some reason they ended up in hell. Because I have to do fireballs and uppercuts. They flew up so high. Here we go. Here. They were soaring for what feels like an eternity. No, we're not sending twinks to hell. This is eternity. This is Andy Samberg and Dolly Parton. They were soaring for what feels like an eternity, dodging planes, creatures, mountaintops, and more. But Andy Sandy noticed it was starting to get kinda hot outside. To their surprise, they had flown for so long, they somehow ended up in, well, the opposite of heaven. Waiting for them at the gates of hell was Satan himself. He was rocking a black leather thong and dancing to some pop music from the early 2000s. Welcome, he said to Andy and Dolly Parton. They both were perplexed. Surely we were decent people. Hell did we end up here? Are we dead? Is this some sort of sick joke? Andy walked over to the kinda hot devil and threw a punch his way, just to make sure he wasn't dreaming. The devil dodged it with ease and tossed a fireball out of his fist as he uppercut Andy Sandy in the gut. Guys, so that's why we're in hell, because I had to do fireballs and uppercuts. So we hit the prompt. Andy Sandy in the gut. Andy went flying. Hold on. Okay. Andy fell back as smoke singed off of his oversized tee, and looked over at his darling wife, Dolly. Okay. Well, now, why did you do that? Dolly said, but with a southern twang. That's my husband, my darling, my light, and my life. She expressed a lot of anger, but it was kind and sweet. The devil, taken aback because he hadn't seen such honesty and pureness in eons, felt bad, felt not good. He loved to torture and kill and beat and hurt people. Why was he sad? Why was he changing? He went over to Andy Sandy and helped him up and dusted off the remaining embers from the flames that were engulfed on his shitty, oversized tee. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna let him figure this one out. Okay.
So, hey.
Hey.
Hey, y'all.
Man, I am loving this.
I'm on fire.
No, you know who's on fire? Andy Sandy. That's all I'm gonna say.
No.
Sorry.
I can't even hear you.
Is it bad that I can kind of tell like who here writes
Lord.
fanfic, but by how they're written?
This is my first time ever, but it's not my last. I'll tell you that much.
Who are good at this?
Oh, I love this so much. It's so much fun. Okay.
Okay, bye.
Oh my god.
Dude, Ghostface and SpongeBob? Oh, great. And the Cyclops Club. I have no idea what that means. SpongeBob watched as the love of his life went to a deep, prowling squat and began to walk away. He saw him take his blade and slowly start to lift it above his head and stare after the form of Doodlebob in the distance. There was an eerie uncomfortability in the air. Then he saw it. Doodlebob stumbled in his step, turning around to face Ghostface, but it was too late. With one smooth movement, SpongeBob saw his beloved leap and slice through that doodle papery form. Hoi, meh, noi. And then the fiber-made being crumbled to the ground. You will tell us where the nuclear codes are, or this will be your shredful ending, Doodlebob. A red ink began to run down the paper's front page. These were the final moments, and we had to take them, and we have to make them count. Please, Doodle, we need you to tell us. Save yourself and save the world. Noi, me hoiman. Hoi, noi. Doodle Bob yelled as he laid there with a massive paper cut. Paper cut was sick. That was good. Okay. And with that, Doodlebob took up his mad sprint. We have to catch him, Ghosty. Okay, so SpongeBob and Ghostface are calling each other Bobby and Ghosty also. Ghostface looked at Doodlebob, this creature who couldn't resemble his Bobby. And without changing, who couldn't resemble his Bobby, asked him, what's your favorite scary movie? Doodle Bob pondered for a minute and replied, The Ring. Which shocked Ghostface because that was the first time Doodle Bob opened up to them. Ghostface put down his knife, crouched next to Doodle Bob, and asked him and took off his mask. Once the mask came off, a red beaming light emitted, absolutely shredding and lighting Doodle Bob ablaze. Doodle Bob was now Doodle Dust, as the head of Cyclops appeared wearing Ghostface's garb. SpongeBob couldn't believe his big white eyes. Ghosty was in the X-Men? SpongeBob was such a massive fan, he couldn't hold it in. Do you know Mystique? He blurted out. Cyclops turned around and said, yeah, she's my best friend here. She's my best friend. And SpongeBob started to cry happy tears. Cyclops and SpongeBob looked at the dust pile of what was once Doodle Bob and realized they wouldn't be getting the nuclear codes. They held hands, realizing this would probably be it. They had minutes left together. Even though they just met. What can one do when you know you're going to die? Cyclops grabbed that yellow sponge and pulled him towards his Ghostface garb. SpongeBob looked up at his beaming red eyes and whispered in a frantic but accepting way, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, guys, I'm going to go get another drink. I'll be right back. Enjoy the absolute silence, by the way, guys. Maybe a burger buck. Sorry for edging you guys, but that's where we're going to end off right there for that, for sure. We could have definitely cooked more on this, but I feel like this is a good place to let them take the wheel, you know what I mean? Let them take the wheel and have some fun. Yo, Mel P, thanks for the resub. Aaron, thank you, Vic. Because now this is a point where they have to realize, what the fuck? You know? Like, they're going to be like, God damn it. Now, Shambo, it's already Cyclops, because Cyclops was the prompt. So Cyclops was the one behind Ghostface's mask. I'm having a down east. Yo, this is fun. You know why this is fun? Because it's just like, it's pure bullshit. It's pure just whatever comes from your fucking dome, you know? It's very creative and silly. This is a strawberry unfiltered. So I think we're gonna go through the Dolly was your fave. So I'm excited for everyone. Dude, Rex, thanks. I'm excited for everyone to read theirs. Yeah, Sour, no, it's great. It's really silly. Does it look like anyone's cooking over here, by the way? I see Luxie giggling. Are other people, like, serious, or are they laughing? Like, I haven't really been paying attention at all to anyone else on the stream. Mika's cooking? Okay. I feel like Mika and me are very similar. I feel like Mika is going to have the same exact humor as me in these. Jason's cooking? Hell yeah. Yo, Betty, let's go. Of course. Hell yeah. Hope you feel better. Leggy's cooking. Let's go. Cooking a 4-course meal over here. Cat's been dying. I feel like Mika actually wrote fanfics.
I ran out of time that time.
Dude,
I almost did. Yeah.
These are so fun. Fuck off.
You know, as I'm warming up, I'm feeling better and better, you know?
All right, I'm down.
These are good, though. Y'all are good at this.
I'm so excited to read them all.
I'm stressed.
All right. See ya. Who's Joshy? Catching Fire and Joshy. My prompt's Catching Fire. All right. With a hop to the left, Joshy held his shin and let out a cry. That hurt. With another swing, the familiar sound of 8-bit music began to play. Joshy got the strangest feeling that he was becoming small and flat. Just like that, he was a tiny pixel art animation shoved against a pixel animation that looked just like Judy. Wait, Judy? Judy, how hard did I get hit with that pipe? As if in answer, Mario, Luigi, Hugh, and Peach all came tumbling into this. Wait a minute. Video game world? The primary colors and blocky buildings told Joshy everything they needed to know. They were inside Super Mario Bros. First the Wendy's fight, and then one hop, skip, and Yoshi Blimp later. We're all in an imaginary world. What was going on? Hurry, everyone! Who said that? Hugh called out, nervous and borderline hysterical. It's me, Mario, and I have a new quest for you. Mario, but you're just a video game character. But you're just a rotund Italian plumber with a brother from New York. You're not real. You're a video game character. squeaked Joshy because he was a little nervous, and also his name was Joshy, and they most likely would squeak when they talk. Now listen up. Now listen up, bitch. Replied Mario, tightening his red hat onto his curly hair. I need yous to go to District 13 and meet up with a real... And meet up with the one they call the Mockingjay. Joshy looked over at Jimmy Neutron's mom. Jimmy Neutron's mom, who was honestly looking incredible, even though she was 32 pixels. Joshy looks back at Mario and goes, "Well, what do you need me to do?" But he sounded kinda like a bag of runts when he talked. Mario handed him a portal device, which was somehow the only object in video game world that wasn't pixelated. Joshy pressed the button and he was transported to a desolate and sad, broken town, alongside his cougar partner, Jimmy Neutron's mom. He looked around and life was still. There was barely a sound from the buildings as if no one had lived here for years. In the distance, he heard a slight whistle. It almost sounded like a Cher song, but he was probably in the wrong story. He listened again and focused his ears, and it sounded like a bird call. He felt inclined to follow it and asked the smoke show of a cartoon mom to follow him. Here in the woods, about 25 minutes. Hold on. Here we go. 25 minutes later, they ended up in a clearing right before the woods, and it looked terrifying. This was unfortunately where the whistling was coming from. Joshy did a big gulp, looked over at the dime that was Jimmy Neutron's mom and said, "Well, I guess we gotta go in." She looked at him, wondering why she was wasting her time here, but smiled and said, "Let's do this thing." As they progressed further into the woods, standing on top of a weirdly large stump was none other than Katniss Everdeen. Hello there! It's me! Katniss fucking Everdeen! Joshy pissed himself immediately, and Jimmy Neutron's mom just looked so incredibly good because the sunlight was hitting her in all the correct ways. Welcome to my forest. We need reinforcements to take out the capital, chortled Katniss. Joshy started to cry. Jimmy's mom was just so fucking hot. Katniss looked at her new potential companions and just couldn't believe her eyes. Now, what is your name, Mister? And yours, Miss? She asked, but it sounded like she had 20 cookies in her mouth. Joshy passed out. Jimmy's mom walked over to Katniss and looked her in the eyes. It's been years since she felt this way. She was in an unhappy marriage, had an ungrateful, genius son, and was objectively in the prime of her life. Katniss was a little confused at the way Jimmy Neutron's mom was looking at her. Is everything okay with you? She farted out of her mouth. We'll end it there. Good luck. We'll end it there. I'm sorry, guys. Someone's got to pick up the slack. No one's giving me... Joshy, you're welcome, by the way. No one's giving me anything spicy to work with. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens. Hold on. He felt inclined. Can I fix that? No, it's too late. It's too late. They're supposed to be all ages? Where? Where? Yeah, they're on mute. Yeah. Yo, Caitlin, thanks for the 25 months. Okay. No, Hadley, you know why I'm doing the Katniss voice? Because I want them to have to do it. Pitbull and Goofy? Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Goofy knew then Pitbull was in love with him. And Pitbull was hard launching their relationship tonight to the world. Goofy was about to become Mr. Worldwide's whole wide world. The show was coming to a close, and everyone knew Pitbull and Goofy are in love and doing hot, nasty things to each other. The good kind. This is so Jason. There's one issue, though. Goofy wants to share something with Pitbull, but he doesn't know how to say it. Nothing is perfect for anyone, but Goofy has something he can't get past. It's been a year now, and Pitbull hasn't stopped snoring. He's seen Goofy 3 times, and the times were quick and sex. That was it. Goofy has needs, and Pitbull can't fill them up. Pitbull was about to be in town, so Goofy texts again and says, "Hey, I think we need to talk." Pitbull knew this can't be good, so Pitbull drove to Goofy right away. Goofy got in the limo, Pitbull already naked, and Goofy just yucked. Pitbull was like, "What the fuck? Don't you want some more Mr. Worldwide?" Goofy replied, "Guys, to be fair, you can't expect it to be all ages when look who we're playing with. Look at the two above. Look at the people above Leggies and below Ashley Roboto. Do you see those two? Do you see those two? Especially those two. Seriously." Goofy awoke with a start, drenched in sweat. He must have fallen asleep waiting for the concert to start. Wiping the drool off his 2 yucking teeth, Goofy stood up just as Pitbull rose up to the center of the stage. Looking directly into Goofy's eyes, Pitbull grabbed the microphone and starts to sing. "This biggity boy is a diggity dog," and winks right at him. Flushing from hairy foot to fluffy ear, Goofy bit his lip and blew a kiss to his man. After an incredible show, all in his favorite hat, obviously, performed and directed at Goofy, Pitbull runs off the... Dude, are these sentences making any sense to anyone else or not me? As he and his sweaty bald head are swung around, Goofy pulls him in for a kiss for the entire sold-out stadium to see. The cheering that erupted from the crowd was earth-shattering, and that's not the only thing. It seems like Mr. and Mr. Worldwide are now on an international love, but will that love be enough for their next hurdle? Because Pitbull is pregnant and Goofy is seeing double. Huh? Three years pass, and it's Mr. and Mr. 305 plus 1. John Cheetos, shout out to you. Goofy and Pitbull are sightseeing the world. Paris, Tokyo. Istanbul. Toronto. Minnesota. New Jersey. Ohio. North Dakota. They clearly started running out of money. That's okay, though. It's because Pitbull was so focused on his family and the Goof Troop. His family, a.k.a. the Goof Troop, a.k.a. the 306s, a.k.a. He's focused on his family, aka the Goof Troop, aka the 306, aka the loves of his life that he hadn't performed in 36 months. He could have, yes, I could have said 3 years, but I feel like 36 months sounds even longer. Goofy felt a little responsible for the hiatus in Mr. Worldwide shows. If he had only worn protection while he was yucking, then they wouldn't be in this predicament. However, they were given an absolute blessing. An incredible addition to their lives. And how could he be upset? Their son Doofy was their pride and joy. Doofy was 6 feet tall and 3 years old, and two and a half years old. He was the epitome of a cute kid. He wasn't spoiled. He was funny. He was smart. He was talented. Doofy had it all. Except friends. He was a little lonely. That was most likely because they lived in South Dakota, because Pitbull hadn't toured in 3 years and spent all his money gambling on steak because he had a crippling addiction, but we totally won't go there. Goofy knew it was a tough time, so he would do what he could to make Mr. 305 happy. He baked him his favorite meal every Tuesday, sang him his favorite song every night, and they watched The Golden Bachelor every Wednesday while drinking red wine. It was a perfect life. Doofy had it made, aside from being an only child in South Dakota. Yo, Pooty, thanks for the resub. Renaford. Sarah Mel, what up? My sister, Caitlin Olivia, what up? Mr. 305 looked over at Doofy one night as he scribbled on the wall and talked to what he assumed was an imaginary friend and gestured towards Goofy. Goofy looked up, half paying attention, and said, "Yuck, what's up, babe?" Pitbull responded, "Doofy needs a friend, a companion, a pal, someone to goof around with. Perhaps a sibling." Goofy and Pitbull locked eyes. They were tired, but realized this might be the next thing they needed. They went to an adoption agency the following day and signed the papers for a kid who needed a home. It was the first time in 3 years that Doofy smiled. No, I'm just kidding. Doofy's new sister showed up and they started to play. Her name was Angelica Pickles. All right, get it out of here. Who's next? Get me away from the story. Who's next? Is that the last one? I hope so. I think there's 2 more, personally. The Disney lawyers are all having a stroke. I think there's one final one, and then we read. It is the last one, is it? This is part 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, this is the last one. Okay. Oh. All right. Yeah, the globetrotting was the first thing. when they went to Tokyo, Minnesota, Ohio, etc. Oh, Lexi's 8. So we got one more. I think. Moody, no. The globetrotting doesn't have to be the Globetrotters. Isn't globetrotting, can that also be like just going around the world? Tokyo, Paris, Toronto, Minnesota. Like that's what I took from that. But maybe I'm weird. Yeah, it's traveling. Okay, good. Done. Minnesota is the world, yes. Toronto, Minnesota, New Jersey, Ohio, North Dakota. I can't wait to read all these. I hope people laugh. I'm also excited to hear them for the first time because I feel like I didn't read a lot of them. And I also didn't... go pee now. Go pee now if you got to piss. I would go now. I also... there's a lot that we haven't seen since, you know? Oh, no, I know you guys are laughing. I'm just excited for everyone who's playing to also, like, when they read it, have to giggle. Yeah, Alyssa, so everyone gets... Time to write the end.
Okay,
Oh, so
It's okay. It's okay.
we all write the ends now?
Yeah.
This is the end.
This is the end.
Okay. Here we go.
Hareem,
Let's say
Guy
time to write the
Fieri, and
end. Yeah,
Frodo
yeah, yeah.
Baggins. Oh my god. Okay. This wasn't the first time Frodo had felt clueless. I mean, remember that time Gandalf showed up? What a wild memory. But this couldn't possibly be those kind of moments, could it? Frodo sat in the restaurant's booth, kicking his feetsies while shoving fry after fry into his mouth. Guy would have told me if this was one of those kind of moments, wouldn't he? Guy looked up and saw the Uruk-hai looking his way, and he knew he had to do whatever he needed. And he had to do it fast. It was time for him to cause a scene. I would like to speak to a manager who owns this establishment. Frodo sat slack-jawed, shocked. Causing a scene like this in a restaurant is not something his longtime friend and comrade would do. In fact, the restaurant business is a fickle thing, and an angry outburst by such a well-known foodie could be the end of a place like this. Guy was never the type to destroy a restaurant reputation, so this must in fact be one of those moments. Yo, Liz, thanks. You're my best friend here. Chris Mel actually is in the chat for those who said anything. The hustle and bustle of servers panicking while searching for the manager was just enough of a scene and distraction, and Guy knew it was now or never. He grabbed Frodo's arm, locked him in the eye, and muttered, "Fly, you fool!" And their mad dash for the door began. Okay. So it's Guy Fieri and Frodo escaping a restaurant? Or no? Is that it? Okay. Sounds like a dine and dash. Does something end with them in the middle of someone's harem? Am I saying it wrong? I'm probably saying it wrong. Hareem. I don't want to explain harem right now, guys. Just Google it. It's not that bad. Harem. Harem. It's the separate part of a Muslim household reserved for wives, concubines, and female servants. In former times. Okay. Great. Great. How am I going to get Guy Fieri and Frodo Baggins there? Good thing we have time. What's the definition they mean here? It just says this. It doesn't actually give you a definition. Many women, one man. I'm just going to have them go back to the Shire, and there's tons of hobbits waiting for them or something. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't care. All right. As Frodo flew away on Frodo and Guy Fieri stormed out of the restaurant as chicken fingers, glass shards, and condiment sauces flew in the air behind them. Frodo looked to the sky as a dragon swooped down and nudged him atop its back. Frodo looked at Guy as the dragon stood there for a little bit and gestured for him to join. Guy looked at Frodo, looked behind him at the chaos of the restaurant, and did a classic white man smirk smile. Smirk smile. Frodo was a little confused and repeated the gesture to join him on the dragon. Guy, the restaurant the chaos and noise, the chaos and volume of the happenings in the restaurant was increasing as both guys were standing outside of it. Guy looked at Frodo once more and said, "Babe, I'm the mayor of Flavortown. Go back to the Shire and have some fun." Almost instantaneously, the restaurant exploded with shards of glass, fire, barbecue sauce, burgers, onion rings. That one guy who barely tips, and more, shot in all directions. Guy Fieri was evaporated on the spot. There was nothing left except his stupid fucking white sunglasses and his Trump 2020 sticker that was on his wallet. Frodo flew away on his dragon. Frodo flew away on the dragon, and after a fortnight, landed finally in the Shire. He slowly approached his home, and there, waiting for him, were 12,000 femme presenting hobbits of all shapes and sizes. Frodo had a lot of work to do. Good thing he had the One Ring to rule them all. The end. And we got 6 minutes to spare. GG's.
GG's, everybody.
6 minutes to spare. Yeah, I'll grab another cider. Who cares?
Hey, Rally Swig.
You're welcome. All right, guys. I'll be right back.
Is everyone done? I'm so
I'm
tired.
finished. I
No,
finished
I
like
have
5
to-
minutes ago.
Okay.
Be right
So it's
back.
not very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Young, he is. He is.
Cat.
Cat,
How many
well-
times did you roll your eyes?
There was only one story I think where I rolled my eyes.
Okay. That's good.
I think I could be an author.
Yeah?
I'm reading a lot of prose in these. Like, we got bars.
I've kind of just been letting my brain ramble and writing what my brain is rambling. So, sorry.
I feel like I could probably pick out your writing now.
Probably. Sorry, honestly. There were some people that like I had to reel them back in a little bit with some of my writing too. Because of like where they left off, it's like it says all ages, right?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I got left like it would leave off at some really steamy points.
I feel like some people just didn't even realize the rating all ages thing, and half of the people were like, "Oh, we can't write anything sexual."
Yeah, some people like fully forgot we were on Twitch at points. It seemed like.
I definitely forgot, like, I was writing.
There's
Multiple times.
one fic that I got that started from the gate was just like, "Oh, we're going here, huh? Okay."
I saw that one.
Yeah.
I think I read the beginning of that one. I started only reading the last paragraphs because the further it goes on and the longer people have to write.
Chops, true,
it
but
just
he also
goes
was
way
chilling
too
with
long,
Trump
so I
at
started reading
a
only the last
MMA
paragraph.
fight,
Last
and like they were
section,
like
I mean,
holding
not
hands.
paragraphs.
So that's why I did that. I don't know what his deal is, but
I'm excited
I
for
figured
the
I'd hit him with a little
points.
jab.
Me too.
You feel me?
Someone said Jason looks like a writer that's exhausted and who can't handle their story.
I'm excited for this. I'll be honest. Yo, can I say
Yeah,
something?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
I didn't read the full prompts. I only read like the file, like the last paragraph or two, just to make it more confusing.
Well,
Yeah,
it
so-
gave
so
everybody a
that's
new
what-
prompt every time.
I did that
didn't
at
it?
the end.
Yeah.
Started doing the. Oh, I wasn't doing the prompts. I definitely wasn't doing the prompts.
Oh, you had to.
I think the prompts
But I was
changed
only doing the
every
last
time.
paragraph and trying to pull into
Yeah.
which made it kind of more fun, honestly.
Yeah. I feel like prompts can be optional as long as like you're
Is
having
the all
a
ages
good
optional
time.
though? Because I feel
A writer
bad,
who's
'cause I did
exhausted who
not.
can't handle their story. Yeah.
I think all ages is turned on.
Yeah, someone it
because
gave
someone
new
might have
prompts
just
every time.
Not made their profile say 18 plus when they made their account,
Oh, I did.
and that's why that
for
turns
sure.
on.
Okay.
You know.
There was also a point where I had to panic and run and go get a towel because I got cut off when I wasn't ready to get cut off, and then I spilled my beer.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that stinks.
There were a few fics where it was like trailed off, and then I got a single letter and was like, where am I going with this one?
Some people
What were
got
they
cut
gonna
off like
say?
mid-word, and it was like
Jason
the
looks like
worst
the
time
Ratatouille
mid-word.
food
I'm
critic
just like,
ego.
what word was this supposed to be? Because this
Oh,
could've
kind
really...
of. The one who eats it and
I'm
goes, "This is
excited
my
for these
mom's."
Stories, honestly, though.
Same.
Yeah, it's gonna be silly,
Just from the characters alone.
bro. I feel like every
Characters
single one
were
was
all
like
very good.
blew my mind.
Yeah, like honestly, like expected, but also unexpected.
Yeah.
Like, I think I expected it to be very different,
Yeah.
but it's still like, oh yeah, this would definitely be here.
Nah, this will be funny.
This is great. For the next
It's gonna
round,
be
it's
goofy, maybe even
definitely gonna be
doofy.
shorter. We're not gonna go 8 rounds per fic.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah,
like
is
we'll
that
probably
like a
do-
setting?
We're probably every time I start a lobby, I can change everything.
Oh.
So for the next lobby, we'll probably do 3 parts, like beginning, middle, end. So
Okay.
just remember when we go first, second, third.
Yeah, Jason.
And then I'll turn
Jason's
all of
outfit's the best for
genres on,
this,
and
for
we'll do
sure.
Self-insert, so then you might get like
Sal,
Melberger
yes.
is one of your
Yeah.
characters, or Jason Sully.
Oh God.
Oh fuck.
I'm
And then you
excited
guys
for
can-
everyone to read theirs.
Yeah.
I'm really excited. It's gonna. I feel like
This
I
is
feel like
so
maybe
fun.
everybody
Yeah, hit the dub
should
button
do a
like 20
bathroom
times.
break beforehand, so nobody pees their
Oh,
pants.
I already did. I cut one of my paragraphs short so I could.
Yeah.
That's smart.
I speed ran a story just so I can go pee.
That's the pissing paragraph.
Yup.
That's the piston paragraph. But it might have been one of my best.
I also,
It was
So,
the
like,
pressure.
as all the
Yeah.
prompts were coming out, I was
Bro,
like, fully reading them before I would
chat.
start typing, right?
Yep.
And my roommates were in the kitchen, which is the room over.
No
both
way
tired of
Ashley
Ryan
did
cooking
this.
dinner, and just cackling at
No
everything that I was reading
way.
this entire time.
It's some good stuff.
Hold on.
The amount of times in the beginning when we were reading,
Dude,
the full
look at
thing,
this.
where you'd get to the line break where it was a new author, and the vibe would change completely.
Bro, Ashar drew
Oh, yeah.
this.
Oh yeah.
That's
You can tell
so
when someone was
sick.
trying to redirect it back to For All Ages.
That's so good.
See, and this is my fault. I feel like I did
No,
not.
you're fine, Jason.
Yeah, that's a
No,
retweet.
Jason, the thing is it wasn't just one person, for sure.
No.
Go.
There
She's,
were
she's rocking the bag
Oh
and
my
the
God,
hat.
was-
I'm not reading the whole sentence, but one of them definitely involves this story is meant for all ages.
Oh my
That was a
god.
sentence?
I think that was me.
Well, that was part of it. That was part of it. Here, I'll
One
read
of
the whole
my
sentence.
one of my other segments from one of them, I think it was like 4 rounds ago, where someone was like writing, and then they wrote the word pin, and then in parentheses they went the prompt. By the way, I was like, oh.
That made me laugh so hard.
The sentence is
If you know, you
nothing
know.
too crazy, but a respectful and caring kiss, as the story is meant for
Ash,
all ages.
GG's, dude.
Oh my god.
That was so
I need
beefy.
everybody to know the one that I just finished was the craziest fucking thing I've ever read in my life.
I think I know exactly which one you're talking about, and I'm excited for whoever needs to read it.